Hello there. This is Senior Sales Director Bria Kernan coming at you from the greater Seattle, Washington area. I am just so excited to talk with you guys a little bit today and share my story and my journey with Mary Kay. And then also just want to thank you, huge thank you for taking the time out and helping your consultant. So please know that we ask our consultants to only really invite sharp women on these videos. So please do know that's a huge compliment coming from your consultant that she has invited you to watch in on this. And so today I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my journey. Hopefully you'll stick out to the very end because guess what? If you want those fabulous prices, there are a lot of prices, you guys. And Leah Carter gives like the best prices. So be sure that you stay to the very, very end. Listen to me all the way through. I promise we'll be quick. Because at the very end, I'm going to give you instructions on what to do in order to get entered in for all of those amazing prices. Sound good? I'm also going to give you a keyword. So listen up for the keyword at the very, very end. Okay? Awesome. So my story, you guys, my story's crazy. First of all, hi, my name's Bria, and I'm a boy, okay? And I'm not just like, I say I'm a boy, I really am a boy, okay? Like tomboy, hardcore, galore boy, okay? My sisters pretended that I was a boy when I was little. They like chopped my hair off and pretended I was a boy because they wanted another little brother. Or they wanted a little brother because we only had one brother and he was the oldest, okay? So one brother, and then I have 5 sisters. Okay, so I'm the youngest of a large Irish Catholic family. So whoop whoop for all the big Irish Catholic families out there. But you guys, when I'm talking, I'm a boy. I like sports, beer, and hot dogs. Like that's my jam. Okay. I always joke and I said the only reason why I know I'm a girl is because I had a baby in my belly. And you guys, here's the thing: you're pregnant for 10 months, not 9. They lied to you. Don't let them lie to you. You're pregnant for 10 months, okay? So I had a baby in my belly, and I was like, I guess I'm a girl. Okay, so I'm talking like one girlfriend from when I was 8 years old, and like I had enough sisters to like cover all my girlfriends, and then I only had guy friends. So if you're sitting there watching this video and you're like, oh, I'm a tomboy, girl, stay strong, because if I can do this, anybody can do this, okay? Before I started my Mary Kay business, you guys, true confession, I didn't wash my face, and I didn't wear makeup. And if I wore makeup, it maybe was some like 2-year-old mascara from one of my sister's drawers, and maybe some like old eyeshadow that she used to wear, okay? Like I still consider myself a hot mess, because normal kind of freaks me out, I'm not going to lie. But, you guys, seriously, I didn't even wash my face before I started Mary Kay. So again, if I could do this, anybody could do this. So a quick history on me, you guys. I went to college at 17. I'm from around Oakland, California, originally, and I went out to college at 17. I have degrees in economics and business, sports marketing, education. I have a minor in Native Studies. I was pre-law, and I was a Division I soccer player, okay? So overachiever hardcore, right? But when you're the youngest of a lot of kids, you got to be loud and really good at stuff in order for people to pay the attention to you. And I say that with love, of course. But, okay, so super tomboy. And then right out of college, most of my entire career was spent working in professional sports, okay? And I also started up a nonprofit. And so again, most of my career was running those both at the same time. So a dual career. And so I worked about 16 hours was pretty normal. 16, maybe 18 here and there, sometimes 20. You guys, honestly, I worked so much and I was so good at my job. But hey, I was in my 20s, right? I had a lot of energy. Not only that, but I was still kind of silly upstairs because they knew I was salaried. So, right, the better I was at my work, the more work they gave me. And then I gave myself a giant down pay. So, joke's on me, right? So anyways, but you guys, like my dream was to work in professional sports. You know, like I said, I'm a tomboy, and so I was living the dream in my 20s, and it was so much fun. And I lived in downtowns in all the cities, and we moved a lot because sports, you move a lot, okay? And so I had relocated from Northern California up to Seattle, Washington the first time. Okay, so I moved back after. But so we were working up here, and I was running both of my careers. And then raise your hand if life has really happened to you. Okay, I'm just going to call you out. I think everybody's hand should be raised because I think life happens to everybody. And if it's not raised, I'm really excited for you. I know at some point life will happen. And so it's sometimes just better to be prepared for it. But you guys, life, you don't know when it happens. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how big, how small. You don't really know the gist of anything. So we were living up here in downtown Seattle, and life really happened, okay? So one of my sisters unexpectedly passed away. And it was not, right, it's unexpected, and it happened really fast. And so overnight I had lost my sister, and she was my best friend, okay? She was I was closest to that sister and her 3 children. And so at the time the kids were 4, 6, and 9. And so, and I'm closest to auntie to those kiddos. And so my husband and I made a really tough decision. But I'm Irish Catholic, and if you know any Irish Catholics, we're like crazy close, and like you cannot get into our family, right? And so when family needs you, you go. And so we dropped everything that we knew up here, and my husband also worked in professional sports, and we moved back down to the Sacramento area, Sacramento, California. And so we just prayed that we would land some jobs. And so I took a job in running business operations for winery. And, my husband and I were opening our own brewery. And so we thought, okay, well, I'll get into the wine industry. It's a sister industry, right? Learn the trades of that. So I ran everything from production to distribution to wine club to weddings to all of the events. You name it, I did it. So I pretty much worked 7 days a week, just crazy long hours, okay? And you guys, my husband, who has... he has a degree from Syracuse University, like that's the top communications school, and he has his communications degree. We figured he would be able to find something in Sacramento, and he actually didn't find work for a year and a half. So at 35, he was waiting tables with a very expensive degree under him. And so talk about humbling, right? That was a big humbling season in our life, and I'm grateful for every season in our life because that's how God designed our life, right? But at the time, it was really hard, and it strained us. It strained our relationship. It strained my family, and not only that, you guys, my nieces and nephews. Well, going from 0 to 3 is a big jump, but not only that, they're very sick, and so we're in and out of Oakland Children's Hospital. We're in and out of Shriners Children's Hospital. I talk about they have PTSD, everything, and then on top of all of that, they have Asperger's and autism, and literally, you guys, the list you wouldn't believe it if I showed you the list of everything for these poor kiddos. So keep that in mind. And God promised it will come back. So anyway, it just took a really straining toll on us, and if your family's ever experienced loss, and I pray that it hasn't, but it's really hard on the family as a core, okay? And not only that, but you guys, my brother had actually become an alcoholic, and so dealing with all of these things shuffling around, and my parents, the toll was so hard on them and on all of us, and so we were all just trying to help and just we were trying to stay afloat was what we were doing, and we only did that by the grace of God and by our faith, and that's the only thing we really had to cling to was our faith, and we knew that God would bring us out. Something's going to give, and we just got to keep pedaling, and we'll get there. We'll be okay. And so at this time, you guys, I was at a pizza parlor with my brother-in-law, and we were picking up pizza for all the kids, and so I saw a little Mary Kay Enter to Win box, and so I put my business card in there, and I'm a business economics and marketing major. I know what she's going to give me a call. And I was very excited. So she called me and she said, let's get this booked. And I said, okay, great. But I just want to let you know that, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not going to sign up for anything. And I'm a boy. But my sisters and I could really use a win. We could use a happy memory. And she said, you know what? That's perfectly fine. And that's what we do in Mary Kay's. We actually just go and love on people. We make people feel important and appreciated and special. And that was the first time I really fell in love with Mary Kay, okay? And so I thought, gosh, if this is how the company rolls, I am intrigued. I love it already. And so this woman came over. And so, right, I just told my sisters and I to have a good memory. We need to laugh. We need to smile. We need to do something besides cry and be depressed and angry all the time. Because it was just such a dark world we had gotten sunk into. And so I dragged all my other sisters with me, of course. And I said, you're doing this with me. My mom's like, don't buy anything. I was like, okay, Mom. And so now she loves that I did. But so this girl comes over, and I'm talking to you guys. This girl is put together, right? Hair, makeup, looks beautiful. And remember, I'm a boy, so totally opposite of me. I was in my workout clothes from the gym. And not that I didn't live in them, because let's be real, if I wasn't at work, I was in workout clothes. Hair up in a bun, no makeup on. That's just who I am, right? And so all of my sisters, right, we're jeans and flannel. We're originally from Minnesota, so we're big, outdoors people and hikers and campers, and we don't do the whole glam thing, okay? And so she came over and she did her face, and I turned to my sisters and I was like, how does your face feel? And they're like, oh, it feels amazing. I was like, I know, is this what it feels like when you actually wash it? In all seriousness, though, you guys, I'm sure you were exactly how we were when we were like, my face feels like a baby's bottom. I need all of this stuff. Plus, I'm getting older, so we should turn back those clocks a little bit. So instantly fell in love with the product. And then this woman started telling me more about the 4 main reasons why women start a Mary Kay business. And so, number 1, the first reason is money, okay? Extra money. And so, a side note on this, you guys, the Mary Kay business model is one of the top business models in our country's history. And so, it's actually taught at Ivy League business schools. And I went to a sister Ivy League school, and I was taught all about Mary Kay in my college courses, like in my business courses. So I had to I gave a little chuckle to myself. I'm like, oh, let's see if I can remember this from college, right? But I also thought gosh, is this a God wink? Are you talking to me and telling me that this is going to come back into my life somehow? But in all seriousness, okay? So money is the number 1 reason. And she started telling me, make 50% commission in Mary Kay. And I thought, oh man, that's incredibly high. That's awesome, right? That's the highest that's the highest, you guys, the highest in direct sales, okay? Which is so impressive, right? So I looked at my sisters and I said, well, you guys are going to buy stuff, right? And they're like, yeah. And I looked at her and I was like, my stuff, how much would my stuff would have cost if I got all this? And she's like, oh, that's I think it was a $2.99 bag or something, right? It was $300. I looked at my sisters and they're like, yeah, that's probably going to spend around that too, right? And so there's 5 of us. So I was like, that chick was about to bank $700 off my sisters, and I was like, wait a minute. So seriously, econ major, right? Math goes quickly in my head. And so I was like, wow, that's really good. And then she continued on, right? There's no sales quotas, there's no territories, there's no monthly fees, and there's no annual fees. And you guys, when she said there was no territories, that was huge for me, right? Because I told you I worked in sports and I moved all across the nation. I move a lot, okay? So I knew that I would have potential customers all over the U.S., right? And my in-laws are back in central New York. And again, Minnesota, you name it, I've lived in that state. And I thought, oh, so I could have a website. People could just order from my website. And she's like, yeah. And so there's no quotas, you guys, and there's no territories. And so I thought, gosh, so I could work this as much or as little as I want. If you want to work an hour a day, go for it. If you want to work an hour every 6 months, go for it. There's no cookie cutter for this business. If you want to make $100 in a month, go for it. If you want to make $45,000, yep, you heard me right, $45,000 in a month, go for it. You can in this business. Why Mary Kay was such a genius was because she said, I never, ever want to tell a woman what she's worth. Okay? I never want to put a glass ceiling on a woman. So if she wants to come in and make $100, let her. If she wants to come in and make $45,000 or over $100,000 a month, which are real numbers, isn't that mind-blowing? Over $100,000 a month in Mary Kay, you can do that. She said, let her work for her worth. Work for her worth. I don't know if I'm saying that right? Let her work for her worth. And I love that because you know what? I'm a workhorse. I am a workhorse. I will work hard for my family, okay? And so that was very intriguing to me, okay? So I really needed money. And so and that makes it not a bad way, you guys, but when you take on 3 kids, those suckers eat so much food and they grow so fast. Did we just get you jeans? They're floods already. And I love hand-me-downs, but seriously, you guys, they eat you out of house, okay? No, don't even throw college in there, but geez Louise. Okay, so kids were really expensive, so I needed extra cash. And not only that, but remember, Michael didn't find work for a year and a half, so we had blown through everything, everything we had. And so money was a big intrigue for me, but I needed a way where it was on my time, not somebody else's, right? I didn't have a choice to go clock in and clock somewhere out somewhere else, okay? So working 7 days a week, I could do it, 5 a.m. until I went to work at 7, right? I had those 2 hours, or I could do, on my lunch breaks, or on this, or in the car, and I could be calling, or, that type of working a business was very intriguing for me. Okay, so it's extra cash, and it's instant cash, right? 50% instant cash. It is in your pocket that day. So you go and you sell $200, $100 is in your pocket that day. I mean, hello? What about all those unexpected bills that pop up, in your mailbox? You're like, what the heck? I did not account for this, right? Okay, so that's money. Love it. Okay, so number 2, the second reason was recognition and rewards. Okay, so Mary Kay was brilliant. She said if you recognize and reward people for working hard for you, they're not only going to work harder for you, but they're also going to be very, very loyal. So in Mary Kay, you guys, they spoil us galore. I'm talking like Kate Spade, everything. And here's a confession, okay? I would have worked hard for like a shiny sticker. Maybe like a pencil with my name on it or something. I don't really care. Maybe a coffee cup. I used to get excited about $5 gift cards from my old boss to Starbucks. Yep, that was me. I would have worked really hard for a $5 card. Okay, but now I work hard for diamonds. And Kate Spade, I was like literally, like Leo was like, here's a beautiful hot pink Kate. I didn't like pink, but now I do. But I'm working on that. At least I should say I'm working on the pink thing. Okay, but she gave me this Kate Spade hot pink purse, and I was like, what's Kate Spade? Earmuffs, Leah. What's Kate Spade? She's like, what? Oh my gosh, how do you not know this? And then you touch it, and you're like, oh, this is why people pay $500 for a purse. Okay, I get it now. And now I have lots of Kate Spade, Michael Kors, and designers. I can't even say their names because I'm a boy, and I didn't know designers before, okay? Kate Spade earrings, look at these, okay? These are pretty, right? These are like, oh, they left. I got these in New Orleans a couple weeks ago from Mary Kay, and they left the price tag on them, and they're like over $150 for earrings. Hello, or these diamonds. Okay, let's talk about diamonds. Or all this jewelry. Okay, it all comes from Mary Kay. These diamonds, these rings came with a $1,000 check each. Yeah, not too shabby. Okay, so diamonds and purses and jewelry and like all this fancy stuff. And my whole house is decorated and stuff from Mary Kay. I'm talking like kitchenware and fireplaces and TVs and electronics and rugs and whatever, mirrors. My husband's always like, people come over like, oh, where'd you get that? And he's like, Mary Kay. And they're like, no, seriously. He's like, no, seriously. Bria decorated the whole house with like Mary Kay stuff. It's great. It's free. It's awesome. Or if it's free, it's for me. That just means extra money in my pocket that I don't have to spend on buying rugs and things like that. And it's cute because I'm a boy and I don't really know how to decorate. So they do it for me. It's great. And then they take their top sales directors and their spouses on a worldwide trip once a year. Can you get excited about having a free honeymoon every year? Yeah, I can, right? So last year, they went to Rome, okay, and I'm talking like, they have like the guy with the sign with your name on it and stuff, okay? Like, it's amazing. First class all the way. Everything's first class. 5-star everything, first class everything. Last year was Rome. The year before that was London and Paris, and I'm talking they rented out the Eiffel Tower for the directors and their spouses, okay, for dinner. A couple years before that was China, and they actually rented out the Great Wall of China. Now, I used to be a wedding or an event planner, and I didn't even know you could rent out the Great Wall. But it's possible. Mary Kay does it, right? Who can do it? Mary Kay can do it. Okay, so that was rewards and recognition. And then she got to the car program. And you guys, this is number 3, is the car program. And this is where she was like talking only at me. It was like she knew my car story. Okay, if you haven't heard my car story yet, I won't go all the way into it. But if you don't know my car story, I had the most awesome car, in my opinion. We share so many lovely stories. I'm being very sarcastic, can you tell? But I did. I loved her, you guys. When she whatever, I cried when I had to leave her. But I drove this car for over 12 years. And one day, she decided, she was like, I'm going to die on you, Mom. And so she dropped her driver door while I was driving. So literally, you guys, my driver door fell off while I was driving it. Fell off. I held it on and put some duct tape on that sucker. Okay? No, I'm not even, that's a real story. You can laugh at me because it's sad. And I continued to drive that car for 7 years after the driver door fell off. Yeah, just don't get my old car, okay? And the kids, like my nieces and nephews, you guys weren't even allowed in the car, except the ones that I was raising. So I was either like, put some duct tape on that sucker, or you're walking to school, and like pull up right to the front of their school and be like, bye kids, I love you, make good choices today. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's not my aunt. Oh, they're so proud of me. So the car was a really big deal to us, okay? Like the kids were all about the car. Like, we can get a free car. I said, yes, we can, you guys. And so, anyways, car program. So most of us are familiar with the pink Cadillac, right? But I didn't know there's actually 3 tiers to the car. And you guys, I'm talking, they roll it out for us. These cars change it every couple years, but they come with all the bells and whistles. Like, power locks excited me, but I'm talking like Bluetooth, Sirius XM, like the touchscreen, OnStar. I mean, like, the works, okay? Beautiful cars. I don't even pay for oil changes anymore. I don't go to the DMV. They shipped me, when I moved to Washington, they shipped me my plates, my registration, my tabs, everything. Just comes in the mail. It's great. Who likes the DMV with a toddler anyway? Let's be real, okay? So the first car right now, and these change, but right now it's a Chevy Cruze and it's white or red, fully loaded with all the good stuff. But if you're like, oh, Chevy Cruze doesn't really excite me, that's fine. You can take cash. You can take $375 a month or the car, okay? And the next tier of that car program is, and those are white or red. The next two are black, and it's a black Toyota Camry or a black Equinox. If you don't want the car, you can take $500 in cash a month, okay? And then comes the beautiful pink Cadillac. And let's be real, okay? I'm going to be very, very clear. I don't even like the color pink, but I promise you, it's like pearl. It's like sexy pearl, okay? It's not that Pepto-Bismol barf me out the window pink, okay? It's really classy. And those suckers are like custom built for you, okay? So when you've earned a pink Cadillac, they put a plaque on your dashboard that says, this Cadillac was custom built for Bria Kernan, right? Like your name's on your freaking car. I can get excited about that, okay? And I can get excited about Powerlock, so of course I'll be excited about my name on my car. But if you don't want the pink Cadillac, the trophy on wheels, as we like to call it, you can take $900 in cash a month. And you can go like get 3 other cars or something. I don't care what you get, but you can get other ones, okay? So that was a car program, and that really excited me. The opportunity to get the kids a new car that was safe. And I didn't have to pay for it, right? And I was like, yes, I'm in. But this is where she really, really tugged at my heartstrings, okay? This is where she pulled me, and like I ripped and cried, and I might cry right now, I'm sorry. But she started talking about the freedom and flexibility of being your own boss. First of all, sidestep on the cry part. Tax benefits, okay? The tax benefits of a home-based business is insane. Are you kidding me? So, I mean, I'm not an accountant, so please know that, okay? But just check into the tax benefits of being a home-based business. It's a beautiful world that we live in, and you get to write off your business expenses, for example, like cell phones, and your computer, and your internet. And you can ask your accountant about more examples. But it's a beautiful thing, okay? So tax breaks are huge. So let's get back to the Tear Fest. It's called Being Your Own Boss and the Freedom and Flexibility. Okay, so true story, you guys. When my sister died, I had worked at that job for over 7 years, and they didn't give me time to go bury my sister. Yeah. I actually had to take that out of my paycheck. Okay, and then I moved back down to California, and I was running a winery, working 7 days a week. Crazy, right? They wouldn't give me time off to go take my nieces and nephews to their therapy appointments, to Oakland Children's Hospital appointments, to their everything appointments. And like literally we'd be at Oakland's for like a week, and they wouldn't give me time off, and definitely not pay me, because they told me, word for word, they weren't my children. That's what they told me. And so right then and there, I made a promise to my sister. I didn't care what I did with my life, but I knew I was going to do something to, 1, honor her life, but 2, if I ever had the opportunity, ever in my life, to create an income where I can stay home and never miss a moment with children, I was going to do that. Because I knew one day I would have my own kids as well. But if I could be there for every soccer game, every football practice, every wrestling match, every award ceremony, every concert at school, every doctor's appointment, and dentist appointment, like if I could create that freedom and that kind of flexibility in my life, and I had that opportunity, and I had everything at my grasp, I knew I would take it. And this was well before Mary Kay, okay? Because I knew one day I would have my own kid, and I made a promise to her that if I could do it, I would never, ever miss a moment of my kid's life. Because watching my nieces and nephews grow up without a mom has been by far the hardest thing I've ever done. Okay, and so for me, that was non-negotiable. And that's just me, and that's just given my history and given my life. And I know I'm not here saying this for everybody, but just know that's my life and my family, and that's where you get me, okay, is that freedom and that flexibility. And so you guys, so my tears were kind of starting to fester in my eyes, and I asked her, okay, so what does it take to get started, okay? So in order to get started in Mary Kay, there's only one requirement, first of all, okay? I'm going to show you this. I have a little prop here, and this is what we call a Mary Kay starter kit, you guys, and this is only $100, and there's tax on it, okay? So like whatever your tax rate is, so it's 100 plus tax. But isn't it cute, right? I'm not a purse person, but if I was, I would get one of these for like a diaper bag or like a bowling bag or, travel bag, whatever. And so So that bag's 100 plus tax, okay? 100 plus tax. Now here's the thing. I have a whole long story, but I don't want to take up more time because I've already running kind of long. But you guys, it's $100. $100. How many times do you go into Costco? And if I'm under 400, I'm pumped, right? Or like Target. I love the Target example. How many times you go into Target and you go for like one item and you go around the stupid bathing suit idol or like the dollar idol, which is like $3 to $5, so they lie to you, right? And you walk out, you walk to the counter, you're like, great, $150 later, awesome. And I totally forgot that toothbrush I came here for. Yep, that's me every time, right? Cannot get out of Target under 100. I cannot get out of Costco under like 400. And so you guys, I beg you to hear my question. Why wouldn't you change your life for $100? Why wouldn't you change your life for $100? So in 12 months, you guys, I'm going to tell you what this $100 bag brought me. Okay. In 12 months of me and I just started my business 3 years ago, you guys. I just celebrated my 3rd-year anniversary. And we just wrapped up our 3rd free car. Okay, so in 12 months, my $100 starter kit brought me the best girlfriends. I would pay $100 for these type of girlfriends, right? High integrity, they've got morals, they just love everybody. They're positive. They like push you for your dreams, and they will be there at the drop of a dime for you. Drop of a dime for you, okay? It brought me a house. It brought me 2 cars. In 12 months, it brought me 2 cars, you guys. And that was when the kids were like bawling, like, we did it. And we shoved them in the car and they were just like ecstatic, you guys. That moment, I'm going to cry thinking about that moment with my nieces and nephews. But now, you guys, it brought me freedom. It brought me freedom from corporate America. And that I've never missed one moment with my son. Not one more moment with him. You guys, he's 20 months old now, and I have the freedom and the flexibility. Yes, we were relocated up to Seattle for my husband's job, and he was able to take it. And I said yes, and now, I have that flexibility where I go back home every 3-4 weeks and go see the kids, and I have that flexibility. You guys, you cannot put a price tag on it. I take naps with my kid. I take like 2-3 naps a day. Oh my goodness, when I was pregnant, it was probably like 4 naps a day. I work when I want. I work at 5 a.m. when he's not asleep, when he's not awake yet. And then I work after 8 o'clock when he goes to bed. And, I design my life. We get to go to swim lessons and gymnastics and all these fun things. And no one gets to tell me when I cannot hang out with my son. Nobody gets to tell me if he's sick that I have to call and ask somebody for a work day for me because my kid's sick, right? Like, I don't have to do that. So you guys, honestly, the question here is not if you can afford a $100 starter kit. Please hear my heart, and I say this with all the love. And if you know me, you know I'm a lover, okay? I just love people in general. But the question, you guys, is not if you can afford the $100 starter kit. My question to you is can you really not afford to take the chance to change not only your life, but the future of your entire family's life? If I didn't take that chance on this crazy, girly, weird thing that I had no background in, my family would not be where we are today. We would not be in Seattle. We would not be in the house. We would still be in the beater car. We would still, I wouldn't have Carter, my son, that's 20 months. There's just, it literally sends me to tears what I wouldn't have if I didn't choose to just take a chance on myself and invest in you, invest in yourself, believe in yourself. And you guys, we teach you everything you need to know along the way. I swear, you guys, if I can do this, anybody can. We teach you, we handhold you the entire way, every step. And so we're here to help you be successful in what you want for your business. And so I just thank you so much for taking the time and hearing my story today. I hope somebody related to it. But before we go, let's talk about some fabulous prizes, okay? So in order to be entered, hear me loud and clear. In order to be entered in for all those fabulous prizes, and I'm talking, you guys, Leah goes all out for prizes. I think I said that at the beginning. You need to get a survey link from your consultant. And if you have already gotten that, fill out that survey now, ASAP. Fill it out, pull it up, fill it out. It takes like 3 seconds, okay? And then you're going to have to enter a password. And your password is Pink Cadillac, okay? The Pink Cadillac, Pink Caddy. Those are the magic. That's just once, okay? Just do it once. Okay, so Pink Cadillac, but you must fill out that survey and submit it, or you will not be entered in for the free prizes, okay? And she's giving away a ton. Oh, my goodness. I want to be entered. So thank you so much again from the bottom of my heart, and I really hope I touched somebody today, and And thank you. Thank you for letting me share my story and let me be me. So I love you all from the bottom of my heart, and good night from Seattle, Washington.